How can I buy a BMW or a Mercedes at a 70% discount?
Cars are getting cheaper for the common people. We now have GST 2.0. We have a lot of new trade agreements between India and the United Kingdom and Europe as well.
When this deal happens, what cars will be significantly cheaper for me to buy? Today, Bentley, how much will it cost me?
5 to 6 crores right now.
And once this trade agreement is signed, then
5 to 7 Bentayga would come down to somewhere between 4. EV cars are getting better and better. There's been a 60% increase in just over the last 1 year. The government allows you to depreciate an electric vehicle 40% year on year. Now the thing with second-hand cars are, if a normal car loan is for 9.5%, a used car loan is between 16 to 18%. There's only a couple of ways in which you can actually get a reduced interest rate. You bought a 1.5 crore Discovery, a second-hand one, for roughly about 35-40 lakhs after all the benefits.
yeah, but a lot of people could not believe the numbers.
I actually recently did a math. You can buy yourself a 3 crore G-Wagon for just 82 lakh rupees.
I don't know how you. Kya fook kya hai? Now I want you to finally tell me what are the best cars for 2026.
Oh, we're doing this one again.
How is it so shiny? Not even silver.
Now you'd be thinking, this guy says he won't buy a Mercedes, but at the same time he has a 10 lakh rupee watch.
I didn't want to say it.
But I said it for you.
Let's immediately start with the updates in the world of cars, and I know there's a lot of action happening in terms of imports, taxes, and all of that. So let's just start off with what is the landscape looking like.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me here again, Sharan. Great to be back on the podcast a second time. You're right. Over the last 6 months, since we had a conversation, a lot has changed in the world of cars. We have a lot of new trade agreements. There's one between India and the United Kingdom. There's a new trade policy between India and Europe as well. India and US are also talking trade. But not just that, but internally as well within India, we now have GST 2.0 that has come in, which also makes cars cheaper. So a lot is happening in the world of cars. Cars are getting cheaper for the common people. A lot of cars are going to get significantly cheaper. EVs remain probably the cheapest option to buy right now when you think about it from a taxes and a framework point of view. But lots of changes, and one of the very good changes which has been happening over the last 1 year is that the car market is doing very well.
So which car should I be on the lookout for when this deal happens? What cars will be significantly cheaper for me to buy?
Okay. Like when we usually talk about a car which is fully imported, a CBU, the taxes when you include GST is around 150%. That's why the car doubles in price.
So 1 crore car will be 2.5 crore.
Yeah, a 1 crore car becomes 2.5 crores when it's fully imported as one piece. But if that same car is assembled in India, that 1 crore car will be somewhere between 190 to 2. So there's a massive difference, because when we're talking about these trade policies, whether it's the India-UK trade policy or it's the India-EU free trade agreement, which is still yet to be passed, both of these policies are only for fully imported cars. So, but that's a catch. You know why? Because a lot of the luxury brands that you and I buy are already being assembled at plants in India. So when we talk about cars that are likely to get cheaper over the next 1.5 to 2 years, you're talking about exclusive brands like a Bentley or an Aston Martin, certain super special Mercedes cars which are fully imported from the European Union, like maybe let's say the G-Wagon, particular variants of the G-Wagon. So very few cars are actually going to get cheaper, but because of the changes in GST, the overall prices in the car market have still reduced significantly.
Today, Bentley, how much will it cost me?
5 to 6 crores right now.
And once this trade agreement is signed, then what will it become?
Once the trade agreement fully comes into picture, first of all, it's for a limited number of cars every year. That's also something which is being discussed. So I think around 250,000 cars across a year are allowed to be fully imported. But a 5 to 7 Bentayga would come down to somewhere between 4 to 6, in my opinion. But this will take 2 years. Then over a period of 5 years, that import duty is going to drop from 110% to 10%. So in the first 5 years, it's going from 110 to about 30%. And then in the next 5 years, from 30 to 10. So that particular change is also going to make an impact. So if it's going to be 4 to 6 for the next 5 years, after that, it might come down to 3 to 5.
So I have to wait till I'm 40.
So you have to wait till you're 40 to actually end up getting a discount.
So essentially what you're saying, that what most people typically buy, that is not going to have a big difference.
No.
It is just going to be for ultra HNI people who are thinking of buying Bentley and Aston Martins of the world.
You're very correct. So your regular Mercedes, Audi and BMW,
That's not
your
gonna
Land
make it
Rovers,
cheaper.
Range Rovers, not at all. They're not going to get changed in prices at all because either they're fully manufactured in India or they're assembled in India most of the times via CKD. So their price is going to remain the same, apart from the few changes that happened in GST.
Let's say I want to buy the Mercedes E-Class.
Okay.
That's a very popular car.
It's an 85 lakh rupee brand new car, like when you think about buying it brand new. So one of the things that you're very famous for is your rent versus buy. Entire ideology that you talk about. Now you're always on the side of rent because you know the value of money. You know that rather than putting your money into something that doesn't depreciate fast enough, sometimes when you compare it to the inflation, it even depreciates. So you always believe in such things you should pay in rent, right? So a similar thing exists in the world of cars as well. Now we all know that cars are a depreciating asset. If you put all of your money in to buying a car, or even if you take, let's say, a bank loan at 9%, you're still losing money that could have been working for you. So leasing exists right now. And what BMW and Mercedes are doing, they're playing around with the idea of leasing a car. So you pay a decent amount of money upfront, your usual 15-20%. The EMI would usually come around 1.5 lakhs. But if you go get that car through Mercedes Agility, the monthly installment that you will be paying would only be about 75 to 80,000 rupees.
Oh, really?
And I'll tell you why this happens. So what Mercedes is basically offering you, they're like, okay, so at the end of 5 years, like let's say you're picking up an E-Class and let's say that you have decided on a term of 5 years with Mercedes. They're like, at the end of 5 years, at the end of 5 years, if you return that car to us, that 85 lakh rupee car is still worth about 50 lakh rupees in the market. So what we're going to do is, we're not going to charge you on the full 85 lakhs. We're going to charge you only on 35 or 40 lakhs. The balance amount, which is the value of the car at the end of 5 years, you get that. You either, if you want to continue keeping that car for more than 5 years, you can pay that in one sum at that point in time if you choose to keep the car. But if you say that no, I don't want to continue with the car I don't want to continue with the car for another 5 years, either give me a new Mercedes E-Class or give me another Mercedes, then you can start a fresh term. So you technically rent a car for 5 years, you pay 50% lesser amount than what an EMI is. And that's because at the end of 5 years, there's a resale value which you're not paying for upfront. You still pay about a 15% or a 20% down payment, but your monthly outflow is significantly lesser. Now with a financial mind, if you think about it, when you invest that 50% even into an SIP, let's say into an equity mutual fund, historically 12% growth has been seen. That money then increases and that 50% discount then goes on to become a 60-70% discount. So if a usual Mercedes E-Class has a monthly outflow of 1.5 lakhs, by playing smartly with Mercedes Agility and by investing the savings into a mutual fund, into the equity markets, then you can probably bring that down to somewhere around 60,000 rupees monthly. All the way down from 1.5.
Perfect. So cars which are between that 70 lakh to 1 crore mark, they're coming up with innovative financing options so that even upper middle class people can now think of buying these cars.
That's the overall funda of India in a nutshell anyway, right?
Right.
Everyone wants to buy an iPhone these days, but not everyone has the salary to buy an iPhone. So what they do, they buy it on loan. Banks are out there providing these loans. Mercedes and BMW are doing the exact same thing with cars. Everybody knows that Mercedes and BMWs are very aspirational purchases. In India, there is a segment of society that is making more and more money per month, and these people aspire to get a Mercedes and a BMW faster than their parents had. So they're basically just finding the gap in the market and filling it. It's finance. It's costing you more in certain ways, but because the monthly outflow is significantly lesser, it becomes more and more achievable for the common man. It's a great financial tool if used right. But most people that are ending up using it are the people that unfortunately can't afford a BMW and Mercedes, but they're like, I can somehow afford this reduced EMI because of the agility plan. So they're not investing the savings. They're barely meeting the reduced EMI. And that's when it becomes a bad financial decision. But if you're someone good with money, if you're someone rich, this becomes a great way to making your car cheaper.
So if you had an option, 80K per month car loan EMI or 80K per month house loan EMI, what would you pick?
80,000 rupees car loan EMI or a house loan EMI. I would put it on the car because I love cars.
Which car?
So right now, genuinely, if I had to upgrade my car, if I had 80,000 rupees per month to spend, I would probably end up getting myself a used BMW 330. That's probably the car that I would go for. Like, I would end up going for a second-hand BMW 330. And the EMI, if I keep it for around 4 to 5 years after playing smart, I could probably bring that to about 80 to 90,000 rupees per month.
How?
Actually, there are a couple of hacks that you need to understand over here. Now, when we're talking about used cars, like I told you that I would buy a BMW 330.
By the way, what's the original price of that car?
So the BMW 330 would be somewhere around 80 to 85 lakhs.
Okay.
But you can get it in the second-hand market, a really good one between 48 to 52 lakhs.
Okay.
So between 48, so let's assume it to be like around 50. So the 330 Li, you'll get it for about 50 lakh rupees in the used market. It would probably have between 15,000 to 25,000 kilometers.
Okay.
And you'll get the nice BMW blue color, everything. So when you're talking about 50 lakhs financed over a period of 5 years. Now, usually when you talk about taking a car, a second-hand car, now the thing with second-hand cars are that these cars can go bad. So banks are like, okay, let's say that the guy buys a car, which is a lemon, goes bad in 2 years. The loan is for 5 years. Human tendency, if the car stopped working after 2 years, why will I pay the loan across 5?
Yeah.
They want to pick up the car. They want to seize that car. Seize it. It's spoiled. Do what you want with it.
Yeah.
So the chances of default are very, very high when you talk about a second-hand car. So what banks do is if a normal car loan is for 9.5%, a used car loan is between 16 to 18%.
Okay.
So
Really?
yeah. So that's makes it very, very expensive to buy a second-hand car. Now, there's only a couple of ways in which you can actually get a reduced interest rate. It actually becomes on how you can plan it smartly. So first of all, if you're planning to buy a BMW 330, like that's probably the next upgrade that I plan on making. So by the time I become eligible to get it, I would most probably have a really good portfolio already, or a substantial amount of money which I can probably park in a fixed deposit. Now, here is what happens. You can take loans against fixed deposits. So, and there are banks that will pay you 6 to 7%. If you have a senior citizen in your family, for example, I have my father, who's recently planning on buying a car for 4x4 purposes, a Mahindra Thar, a second-hand Thar. So I was actually about to use this strategy with him for the senior citizen safety. So for me, a fixed deposit interest would be between 6 to 7%, sometimes even 7.5% through banks like Union Bank or things like that. Unity Small Finance, I mean. But senior citizens are like a percent higher, so maybe 7 to 8%. Now, what you do is, if you make a 1 crore fixed deposit, for example, if we're talking about a BMW 330, now the bank will allow you to take a loan against that 1 crore. So 80% of that they can provide you back. If the bank is paying you 7.5% interest, they'll charge you 8.5. So 1% higher. So now you're not taking a second-hand car loan. You're taking a loan against your fixed deposit. You can also take loans against mutual funds. And that's how you can actually get a loan for a second-hand car in a cheaper way. Apart from that, if you have a great portfolio, then banks give you good discounts there too.
Got it. I think this is what I did also. You had recommended this for my recent car purchase as well.
Yeah.
The Land Rover Discovery.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
That's new since the last time we spoke.
That was been in the news. A lot of people were wondering, how did I get it for so cheap?
Yeah.
So what is the actual price? Is it like 1.5 CR for that?
Yeah, I think depends on the one you have. You have a Land Rover Discovery, right?
Discovery, yes.
Yeah, so it's around 1 to 1.5 crores, depending on the variant that you go for.
Right.
Let me just confirm that also.
Mine is the 2022 model, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, no, I'll just check what the latest Discoveries go for.
1.38.
You have the Discovery or the Discovery Sport? Discovery. Yeah, we're in the right range only. It's
You also have a
1.5.
Land Rover Discovery. Okay.
He asked
Which one do you have? You said Discovery. So I was offered at 57 lakhs. It's a 3.5-4 year type of a car, 30,000 kilometers driven. And I paid 10 lakhs of it through my credit card. So I got about 2.5 lakhs back. And then I also sold my old car. I had a Volkswagen Tiguan. That I sold for about 12 lakhs or something. 10 to 12 lakhs. And then, then you recommended to not, what do you say, take a normal loan. Don't take like a second-hand car loan because interest rates are high. I think I was also offered like even with my portfolio, I was offered like 11-12% interest. I'm like, I'm not going to pay that kind of interest. So I got in my company name. So company had good, savings in the bank. So I made an FD of, I think 50 odd lakh, and I got about 45 lakhs out as a loan against FD for, I think, close to 8% interest. So got it very low. And then obviously there is, depreciation benefits and all of that. But so all in, I end up paying like 60-70K per month.
Yeah.
For this whole car purchase, which I have to, if I pay 60-70K per month, within 5 years, that loan will be cleared.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, 60-70K per month is nothing if it's a 1.5 crore initial car. And it's amazing, much better than a Tiguan. I'll say that much.
Now, this is the lucky part of being a finance influencer, knowing about finance yourself also, and about having all the right people around you. Because unfortunately, the reality of the Indian market, see, cars are depreciating assets, but see, I'm not going to be like every other finance influencer, okay? There are people out there that will make comparisons between an Uber and owning a car, and they'll be like, traveling in an Uber is cheaper. So I'm not going to tell you that. I personally believe that everyone should spend money wholeheartedly on anything that they want to. But if there's a way to do it smarter, that's the finance bit that I'm here to provide. So unfortunately, 99% of the people in India do not know how they can buy a car in a smart way. And the moment you start unlocking these benefits, right? For example, even business owners, like salaried people have their own ways of saving money. Business owners also have so many ways of saving money. Like you mentioned, you did a couple of very smart things. So I actually recently did a math. Now you bought a 1.5 crore Discovery, a second-hand one for roughly about 35-40 lakhs after all the benefits.
Yeah, but a lot of people could not believe the numbers.
It's actually, so that's another thing. The reason people are not able to fathom and believe that these type of discounts exist is because they don't know the basic hacks. So the world of car finance is actually very, very easy. Unfortunately, people don't know these things, and that's why it becomes unbelievable. Now,
also because Beer Biceps left out some of the parts in the edit. They only put a couple of things, and the people are like, how is this possible?
Why is NVA doing this?
It's okay. And the thing is that I didn't bother giving a reply, so people made their own assumptions. But you watched the whole podcast. So
I did, and that was an interesting one. But so when we talk about these type of car deals, right, now I'm going to say a line to you, which usually sounds like absolute clickbait. But trust me, it's not clickbait. You can buy yourself a 3 crore G-Wagon for just 80-82 lakh rupees. You bought 1.5 crores for 60 lakhs. What if I told you can buy a 3 crore G-Wagon brand new, not second hand, for just 80 lakh rupees?
I don't know how you...
Exactly, right. So I was doing the math on this the other day. Now, when you talk about cars, right, there are two types of cars. It can either be an ICE, which is petrol diesel, or it can be an EV. Now, the government is promoting EV cars across the board like anything. The taxes that exist on EV cars are already very low. But apart from that, the depreciation. Now, think about it, right? Everyone keeps talking about how EV cars depreciate faster than a petrol and a diesel car because it has a battery inside it. This reflects in the amount of depreciations that you can claim with your business. So if you buy a Land Rover Discovery Discovery, which is a let's say brand new one, which is a 1.5 crore one, but you buy a petrol variant, you're allowed to claim 15% depreciation, exactly what you're claiming with your Discovery as well.
Yeah.
Yours is secondhand, but still you're allowed to claim 15% depreciation. Now the G-Wagon has a particular variant, the G580 EQ. It's still a G-Wagon, but it's electric. The government allows you to depreciate an electric vehicle 40% year on year. When you depreciate a 3 crore G-Wagon by 40% year on year to across a period of 5 years, the depreciation alone is about 2.5 crores. When you talk about 2.5 crores depreciation value over a period of 5 years, 30% tax savings on that. So 30%, that would be 75 lakh rupees.
Yeah.
75 lakh rupees you have already saved in depreciation alone. Now, a car like the G580, any car, first of all, it's always good to finance it. You're a business owner. If you keep your money reinvested in your business, first of all, if your business can buy a G580 EQ, that means your business is doing well. That means your year-on-year income profits are pretty good. So if money stays reinvested in the business, it anyway makes you more than what the bank loan is charging you. So now let's say you take a bank loan. 8 to 10%, whatever it is on the G580 EQ, you have to pay only 20% upfront, right?
Yeah.
So 20% upfront is 60 lakh rupees. The balance 2.4 crores is financed. The interest that you pay on that 2.4 crore loan is also claimed as an expense.
Yeah.
You save another 10 to 15 lakh rupees in taxes there also. Now here is the crazy hack. So fine, your 2.4 crores because of the opportunity cost that's appreciating over a period of 5 years. Just because you took a loan, the amount of post-inflation, post-tax benefits that you get on that appreciation of 2.4 crores in terms of opportunity cost, that's a 1 crore benefit. Had you not taken a loan and you had put 3 crores upfront into that car rather than putting just 60 lakh rupees upfront, you would have spent 1 crore extra. But because that money stays reinvested into your business, if we expect around 12% CAGR year on year, after inflation, after taxes, you still profit 1 crore.
Yeah.
So 1 crore there, 80 lakh rupees in taxes, 15 lakh rupees from interest. But the biggest hack now
Is resale?
is
Is
actually resale. And you might have seen this when you were buying your Discovery in the second-hand market. You might have come across a lot of third-hand cars, and you would be wondering, why are there so many third-hand luxury cars?
Yeah.
So what happens is
Becomes
companies...
a vintage car.
No. Companies buy a car on their name, then they transfer it to the director of the company, and the director then resales it into the market. But why? You'd be wondering, what's the point of this?
Yeah.
Like, just sell it directly from company to the open market. Now, we were allowed to claim 40% depreciation year on year for the G580, right? So after 5 years, that 3 crore G-Wagon became 50 lakh rupees on paper.
How?
Because of the 40% depreciation year on year. So the book value came down to 50 lakh rupees.
Okay.
You know, I know, a G580 is an EQ. So sorry, the G580 is an EV. But at the end of the day, it's a G-Wagon. So when you go to sell it into the market, you're not going to sell it at 50 lakhs. You're not going to find any second-hand G-Wagon in the market for 50 lakhs. You'll find it for at least 1.5 crores.
So market value is more than the book
The market value is more than the book value. So what the company does is, the company transfers the 50 lakh rupee car to the name of the director at 50 lakh rupees, no taxes to be paid there. Then the director sells that car for 1.5 crores.
The director has to pay 50 lakhs to the company to get the car?
Yes, he has to pay 50 lakh rupees to the company to get that car. He sells it for 1.5 crores in the open market. He profits on that 1 crore. He pays a tax of, let's say, even 30%. That's 70 lakh rupees clean profit.
Wow.
So when you add it up, 70 lakh rupees resale profit, 80 lakh rupees, 90 lakh rupees saved in taxes, 1 crore was the opportunity cost which turned into a profit. When you do all of this math, the 3 crore G580, the 3 crore G580 EQ comes down to about 82 lakh rupees.
So I should have gotten the EV.
I mean, yeah, unfortunately,
I should have gotten the EV. G-Wagon I would have gotten.
I did this math right after you bought the car. In fact, I shot a reel for it just last week. So it's going to
G-Wagon would have looked much nicer than the Discovery.
I mean, seeing how well the 1% Club is doing, touch wood, and how well
But-
Finance with Sharan is doing, how about car number 2?
Car number 2. But yeah, man, I'm just looking at the petrol cost of this Discovery. My God, it's too much. I'm like, yes, I won the game of purchasing the car.
Yeah.
But I'm like, the petrol cost is too much. And plus with this war situation, prices going up, should have just gone with the EV, guys. Anyway.
I mean, lots of benefits there.
So now let's come down.
Yeah.
Now I want you to finally tell me what are the best cars for 2026, right?
Oh, we're doing this one again.
We're just doing this one again.
Yeah.
And don't think about resale value and all of that. Just from MRP price. What is the on-road price?
Yeah.
And let's start from the lowermost number. Under 10 lakhs.
Okay.
First-hand car. What's the best right now?
So let's break this down into 2 categories like we did last time. Let's keep it for ICE as well as EV.
Okay.
Because we have to consider that there are 2 categories now and the EV cars are getting better and better. People are buying it a lot more as well. There's been a 60% increase in just over the last 1 year in the sale of 4-wheel EV vehicles.
Yes.
So let's talk about EVs and ICE both. So whatever ranges you ask me, I'll tell you the best for both.
So under 10 ICE car.
So under 10 lakhs, the best ICE car that you can buy today, in fact, the ICE and the EV are the same. I would actually give this to the Tata Punch.
Punch.
Yeah, very safe car. It's pretty reliable, unlike a lot of other Tata cars maybe, but the Tata Punch is very, very reliable. It's very sturdy and it's built like a tank at that price point.
What is the price?
It's about 8 to 9 lakhs. You can get it even lower. You can probably get a base variant for about 6.57 lakh rupees as well. And that car gets you great safety. When you think about a person that's buying a sub 10 lakh rupee car, these are people that are, families that are just getting into money, probably have just started making some income, probably in many cities even moving on from a bike.
Tired of using an Uber.
And safety is a very, very important is a very important thing in my opinion. So I would give the best car under 10 lakh rupees in ICE and EV to the Tata Punch.
So same car.
Same car, the Tata Punch EV and the Tata Punch.
Under 20 lakhs, what's the best ICE?
Under 20 lakhs, the best ICE in my opinion is actually the Thar Rocks.
Thar comes for under 20 lakhs.
Yes,
It comes for 17 lakhs. I saw the ad on the recent...
you can get a Thar Rocks for under 20 lakh rupees. It's not going to be the 4x4 variant. That will be closer to 25 lakh rupees. But you don't need the 4x4 variant when you have a car like the Thar. It can do a lot of off-road. It has a lot of off-road capabilities even without 4x4. They've made that car very, very luxurious. So they've brought in the DNA of an XUV 700 or a Scorpio N into the Thar. It's now luxurious. It's built for families because it has 5 doors and it's a beast. So the Thar Rocks, in my opinion, is the best car in under 20 lakh rupees. And when we talk about EVs, I would actually give it to the MG Windsor.
Windsor, yeah.
Windsor, one of the smartest cars practically. It actually ticks all of the boxes when you think about what an Indian family wants. It has big displays, modern features, good brand. Now MG has even partnered up with Jindal. So JSW. So it's a good brand. It gets you good range. It ticks every single box that you can imagine for a car under 20 lakh rupees. So it has to be the MG Windsor. You also have cars like the Tata Nexon that compete in this price range. But the Tata Nexon ends up at the service center quite a bit. So compared to the MG Windsor. So I'd give it to the MG Windsor. Best EV.
So what is the next price range we should look at? Because I don't know, from 20, is it direct 50 lakh car or is there something in between?
I'd say let's do 30.
There is 30 lakh good prices, good cars?
30 lakh rupees is a very important range as well, in my opinion.
Why?
So I'll talk about myself, right? Now, when I bought my very first car, I bought it for 17 lakh rupees, which is the Honda City.
Honda City, huh?
Yeah. So it was a sub 20 lakh rupee car. Back when I bought it, my budget was 25 lakh rupees. I ended up finding my barely used Honda City for 17 and I bought it. But now when I think about upgrading a car, while I eventually plan to upgrade to a BMW 330 or maybe even a Mercedes, but the thing is, I'm actually not that fascinated into directly making the jump to a luxury brand yet. I still want to increase my income a fair bit before I start thinking about it. Naturally, the next range, even without selling my Honda City.
What is your monthly income right?
So right now I'm making about 60 probably per year, like I've reached that 60-70 lakh rupee phase per year.
There's a lot of people who will buy a BMW at
So
this size.
technically I can, so when you're talking about 60 post-tax, I get about 40, which is about 4 lakh rupees per month. So I can buy a car, if we do the 24/10 rule, I can only spend 40,000 rupees monthly on my car EMI. I was spending more per month on my Honda City EMI, but that's also because I was paying it off fast.
But you can do that payment plan you were saying now with these companies.
But I also said a very important thing when I was talking about Mercedes Agility and Smart Finance 360. This plan is best for people that are financially well off and those that are doing it to reinvest their money. So when you're saving, so a brand new E-Class is 1.5 lakh rupee EMI. Through Mercedes Agility, you'll probably pay 75. If you're the type of person that has that 75,000 rupees to reinvest back into your business, back into the market, that's when it's financially smart for you to buy that car. But if you're a person that is saying that I can't afford 1.5 lakhs, but I can afford 75,000 rupees, I really, really want a Mercedes, then you're the same person that's buying an iPhone on a loan. I can do that. I can spend 75,000-80,000 rupees per month and pick up a E-Class if I wanted to. It would look great on Instagram. It would probably get me followers too, but it's not the smartest thing to do. If you genuinely ask me what I would upgrade to next, I probably wouldn't even sell my Honda City. I love that car way too much to even think about selling it practically. I would probably go to 30 lakh rupees and I'll answer you the best car in that segment because it's a car I would personally buy because it would be an upgrade for me. And just like last time, unsponsored, but this time with an upgrade because the 700 doesn't exist anymore. It's the Mahindra XUV 7XO. Best car under 30 lakh rupees again.
The most popular reel, Mahindra XUV 700. I think that made your career. Mahindra XUV 700, but now it's the Mahindra
XUV 7XO.
7XO. Okay.
Mahindra doesn't even pay me money, but they've made a great car. I mean, it's luxurious. They've launched something new this time, the Da Vinci suspension. And at a 30 lakh rupee price point, that car feels as comfortable as a 70 lakh German car. You get phenomenal comfort in that XUV 7XO. And if we talk about EVs, like the best car in EVs under 30 lakh rupees, I would give it to the Tata Harrier EV. That's a very... So I have a thing for big cars. A lot of Indians have a thing for big cars. If you look at the natural progression in the Indian market as well, we don't have hatchbacks anymore. Hatchbacks move to compact SUVs. People that used to buy maybe compact SUV sizes before or entry-level SUVs now are buying bigger SUVs. Like you have the Tata Safari, you have the Tata Harrier, the 7XO is a massive car as well. So yeah, I am a fan of these big cars in under 30 lakh rupees and I would give it to the big ones, the 7XO and the Harrier EV in the EV side.
So what's the best 50 lakh car which I can buy now?
Okay, now in the 50 lakh rupee segment, now this is actually constant from what I had rated as the best car last year, the Skoda Kodiaq and the Volkswagen Tayron. I'm not sure about the pronunciation, but the Tayron, I think.
Oh, there's a Volkswagen at 50 lakh also.
Yes, it's similar to the Skoda Kodiaq and this is usually between that 48 to 52 lakh rupee mark if you buy it smartly. But yeah, the Skoda Kodiaq in my opinion is the best.
So that's not changed from last year, it's the same.
Same. Skoda's Kodiaq still dominates and I would give that my favorite car in the ICE category. But now when we're talking about the best EV under 50 lakh rupees, I would actually give that to the Hyundai Ioniq 5.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it is a very cool looking car. It has great range as well. You also have a couple of good BYD cars like the Sea Lion, but I would actually give it to the Ioniq 5.
And the best car under 1 CR.
So the best car, in my opinion, under 1 crore right now is going to be, this is different. Last time I said it's the BMW M340. Still a very, very good car under the 1 crore. But right now I really like the Range Rover Velar as well. You'd get that in about 1 crore rupees. And if I have to talk about...
Electric, let me guess.
Yeah.
The MG M9.
The MG Cyberstore. What? You were right about the MG. The M9 is also great. The M9 is great,
like
but
it's a flight.
You know what? For some people, the M9 is great. Like for someone that wants that lounge type of feel.
Looks like a first class, business class seat.
Actually, in the under 1 crore EV, right, it actually becomes interesting. I'll tell you why. Because see, I gave it to the Cyberstore because it's a 2-door car and I want a fast 2-door. You give it to the M9 because it's a lounge feel. But both of them are very niche. Now, if I actually had to course correct in this 1 crore answer, the best EV, we can actually probably say it's the Kia EV6. If we had to talk about a car which is good for all. So a good EV car which is good for all would probably be the Kia EV6, but the MG M9, for those that want a car that feels like first class, I would say the MG M9 is best over there. And for someone that wants to drive something really, really fast at 75 lakh rupees, then it's the MG Cyberstore.
But you can't take your kids with you.
But you can't take your kids with you.
Interesting. But very, very shocking to hear that even at a 60 LPA package, you will not buy a Mercedes or a BMW.
So I also want to be investing in commercial properties eventually.
Nice.
So I want to pick up a commercial property, probably end up buying a plot of land as well. So I'm trying to figure out how I can make better investments with the extra money that I have. Definitely don't want to spend it on a Mercedes right now.
Tell me the story of the watch you're wearing. That's a...
Or the Submariner.
Rolex Submariner, right?
Submariner.
That's like a 12 lakh watch. How is it so shiny, yaar? Like, so shiny. It's not even silver. It's like... What is this?
So I'm not the type of person. Now you'd be thinking, right, this guy says he won't buy a Mercedes, he'll buy a 30 lakh rupee car, but at the same time he has a 10 lakh rupee watch.
Correct.
So that sounds like a hypocritical, contradictory statement.
Right. I didn't want to say it.
But I said it for you.
I think,
but now
yeah.
let's go back to the statement. I said, I'm not the type of guy that tells you not to spend money.
Yeah.
Spend money, spend it smartly. Now I'll tell you what I did. So when I bought this watch, I bought this for 6 lakh. On day 1, on Chrono 24, it was for 9. So I'm lucky. In my mom's side of the family, they're all into jewelry and they're all into watches. I have a cousin that has sold like high-end Richard Milles and stuff to as big people as like Hardik Pandya and MS Dhoni also. But I just got a very, very good deal for it because I bought it within my family.
How much is the Richard Mill which he wears, Hardik?
Hardik wears Richard Milles, which would cost you 4-5 crores even. Like
4-5 crore watch.
And he has like 5 to 10 different exotic watches which he wears while fielding, while bowling. It's Hardik Pandya.
Then he goes and collects a 5 lakh check.
But I'll tell you what, when
man of the match.
you're someone like Hardik Pandya, you are actually one of the smartest financial people in the world. I'll tell you why. Or at least in India, I won't say world. Now, just look at him, right? He's definitely a crazy performer on the cricket field. But he's no Virat Kohli. He does something which is very cool. He's an all-rounder. So it's something that India needs. But if you look at why Hardik Pandya is famous, why he makes the amount of money that he does. There are plenty of all-rounders in India, like for example, Ravindra Jadeja or an Akshar Patel. Not a fast bowling all-rounder like Hardik Pandya, but why does Hardik Pandya get that fame and that money?
Because of his podcast with Karan Johar.
No, that's one major thing.
Down.
But KL Rahul was also there. KL Rahul is not as big
collateral
as...
damage.
He was collateral damage. But that podcast shows you very, very important thing. One, that interview, Coffee with Karan, his personality, his mindset, and the way he carries himself. That Hardik Pandya aura is exactly what he has been able to monetize. He's monetized that Hardik Pandya aura. People love him. That's why brands come to him. And he makes his money not entirely from cricket. Yes, he has a 17-18 crore contract with the Mumbai Indians too. But the way that he has monetized his genuine aura and his personality. So when you have when you make money because of your aura, you should spend on it too.
Yeah.
So when you're buying those 5 crore watches, first of all, they're appreciating. So watches like Richard Milles, APs, Rolexes, and Pateks, and even like watches like Frank Mueller, for example, these watches appreciate. They don't go down. But a watch like a Tissot or a Seiko or a Fossil, I mean, why would I even name it? Or like a Hublot. You, okay. Even I have a Fossil. They're good.
And I was going to buy a Tissot. And you're saying, okay,
they
fine.
depreciate.
Okay.
But these other watches don't. So Hardik Pandya's watches are appreciating, but beyond that, they're making him rich in his aura and his personality, which gets him even more brand deals. So if a usual watch collector, if their watch collection appreciates, let's say 5 to 7% a year, Hardik's is actually appreciating significantly more because his personality is what makes him rich. His personality is what makes him rich. This works in life. Yeah.
So guys, I think... I hope you guys got a good flavor of what luxury life looks like, why you guys have to keep working hard to live a life of excess is what Rohit has been talking about. But the mindset is what I was very interested to understand is, You do it so that you become a better version of yourself. You
Yeah.
sort of attract the right kind of people to yourself, and your mindset keeps changing.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think, Rohit, thank you so much for coming once again and talking about your best cars, favorite cars, best watch. I think the next step for me is to actually act on this and definitely go and get that watch, because I just have a Fossil right now
Yeah.
and there's nothing smartphone, and I need to get some.
You're wearing an Apple Watch. You
No,
should.
no, I'm not wearing an Apple Watch. This is the Nothing watch.
Oh.
This is a very premium watch, guys.
I actually like it when smartwatches. So I have an Apple Watch Ultra that's a square, but I like it when it's a circle. This one actually looks pretty cool.
No, I like this because of the simplicity
Yeah.
and no cognitive overload. Like with the other smartwatches, it feels like there's a lot of things there. This is like really simple.
So
Yeah.
yeah, pretty beautiful.
Just gets to the point. That's all.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let me know, guys, if there is any questions that you felt like I missed out on asking. Please drop them down below. And please let me know any future guest suggestions. Happy to take your feedback and get the right people for you guys on any of my future episodes. On that note, I'll see you in the next one.
Before you go, guys, if this episode gave you even one insight that made you think differently about money, don't just keep it to yourself. Share it with your friend or family member who could use it too. And if it sparked a new thought or even made you disagree with me, drop a comment below and tell me why. Your critique helps me make these conversations sharper and more useful for you. As long as you have me subscribed, I'll make sure that you walk away with at least one new thing every Wednesday.